Is your networking not working? Today, a recap on the Daily Ish Show.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, ignition, liftoff.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Daily Ish Show, a show not just for rental housing providers, but anybody looking to get more time wealth on their calendar. It is really good to see you guys. I know it has been a week, so much for a Daily Ish Show. Well, actually, I've been traveling a little bit, and that's why I was not taking time off. I was actually working, but it was great hanging out with some great folks up in Wisconsin. It's for the Whiskeria. Shout out, my peeps. They were awesome folks up in Madison and on Monday, and then Eau Claire on Tuesday. They were fantastic groups. Asked great questions. Went over the VIP method, the four parts to any business cycle, right? Four parts of any business. It doesn't matter what business you're in, and then of course some mindset stuff just to help free you from making mistakes and having self-sabotaging, self-defeating behavior. So it was a really, really good couple days. Got back, I was like that great feeling of exhausted, right? Like I was exhausted, I was tired, I could not wait to see my bride, could not wait to sleep in a familiar bed. And anyway, so it was really cool. So tonight we're going to be talking about, is your networking not working? And the reason, I've done this topic before, and just some networking things, but it reminded me of how quickly we can slip back into bad and not great networking habits when you haven't done it in a while. So, I didn't introduce myself. I'm Mark Dolfini, coach, and your host of the show. Sorry, I don't know why someone messaged me and just said, "Hey, who are you?" All right, thank you for keeping me honest. But no, so it was really interesting that when I was doing the networking function, because they have a networking. Each of the groups had a networking function. One was a little bit more informal. The other one was a little bit larger, and they had a networking portion of the meeting, which was really interesting because I was looking around and I was a little nervous. Not that I hadn't talked about this topic before. I just hadn't done it in this format. This particular topic in this particular format before, where I had the VIP method, and then the four processes of every business, and then the four functions of any business, and then the mindset stuff. So I was a little nervous, but a good kind of nervous, not like I was catatonic. But I noticed that as I was looking around, that I was really quick to point out when others were like sitting by themselves, not networking, kind of scrolling on their phones, not doing what would be arguably the most important function during that time. I mean, you're in that room, and these were all real estate people, right? So they're all there for the same reason. They're either there to do deal, borrow money, whatever it was, and not all of them were up and talking to each other. And it was really funny because I could promise you, in that room of 25 or so people, there was probably a person in that room with a property to sell. There was probably a number of people in that room with a desire to buy a property, and there's probably people in that room with money to lend. So it's really interesting that there really wasn't that much. I mean, there was good networking going on. Don't get me wrong, but there were definitely a fair amount, probably a little bit less than half, that were just not networking, or if they were keeping the conversation very light, very safe. So, and again, maybe they were just building rapport. Maybe they're just not trying to be too transactional. There were a fair number of new people in the room, so it's really interesting as I got sitting there thinking about it, and as I'm watching them, I was making the same mistake. I was sitting there, and I was not really, I wasn't really talking amongst the crowd. I wasn't going out and introducing myself, and I was like, man, I think I'm off my game a little bit, right? Now, you shouldn't try to work the entire room, but it was, there was a substantial period of time where I was pulled back from the crowd. I wasn't mingling, I wasn't talking, and I wasn't connecting with people in a way that I felt would help me establish at least visibility. Not that I was trying to get to do business with them right away. I mean, I was the new person in the room. I was the speaker in the room. They didn't, some of them heard of me, but they didn't really know me. So it was really interesting. I wasn't going to try to do business with them. I wasn't going to try to transact with them, but I should have been at least making an attempt to be a little bit more visible in terms of going up and at least introducing myself, asking them what they do, and so forth. And even if I wasn't trying to tell them what I was doing, this is something else that I had to catch myself from doing, because even though I was there in the landlord coach mindset, if you want to be interesting to people, it's a very simple formula. Be interested. Be interested in what they're doing. Ask them lots of questions. Ask them lots of questions that they would love to talk about. And it's about as simple as you get. If you want to be interesting to other people, just be interested. Ask them good questions. Ask them what they're about. And generally, I almost always ask people, what is it you keep busy with? What is it you spend your time doing? And that one question alone, just what do you keep busy with? It allows the individual person to answer the question in any way that they want. Well, if they keep busy by chasing grandkids around, then let them answer that. That's what's most important to them. Then you can take the conversation that direction. If they are, strictly transactional and like, well, I keep busy with, I'd like to be busier. I'm looking for real estate deals or whatever the business thing is that they're looking for. If they were a contractor, there were several contractors in the room. They're looking for more roofs to do. They're looking for more plumbing work. They're looking for electrician work, that sort of thing. Then they get to decide what the answer is. It's not necessarily being dictated by the event. So it's really interesting that, I was a little off my game. I had, and part of it is because I haven't been to any networking functions. I haven't been out, and it definitely takes a little bit of practice. You have to get back into the swing of things. So, that was a really interesting time that I had there at the Madison RIA and the Wisco, or in the Eau Claire RIA, all a part of the Wisco RIA system. So thank you guys for having me. You guys were awesome. I really do appreciate your kindness and great questions, and just super, super engaged during the presentation. So I really appreciate the warm welcome and everything else there. So that's all I have. So if your networking isn't working, maybe look at yourself, see what it is that you're doing, be out there. And again, if you want to be interesting to other people, just simply be interested. And that's it. So if you'd like to connect with me, I'm going to leave. You can look at the scroller thing down at the bottom. Just reach out. You can go to landlordcoach.com/connect and give you a free coaching session. It is not a sales call. It is just to let you know a little bit of what I'm about. I am looking to grow my mastermind group right now, and looking for some people to interview. So if you think that you would be a good candidate for a mastermind, or want to be part of the mastermind, or in the inner circle, which is one-to-one coaching in addition to the mastermind, is a fantastic value. But we are taking interviews now. So if you are a small business owner, or you want to be, or you or even want to get in, you don't necessarily even have to be interested in real estate. In fact, several of the people that have come in the inner circle just recently didn't even have any real estate holdings other than what they owned, for their personal use. So if that's something that would be interest you, go ahead to landlordcoach.com/connect, fill out the application, and we'll just have a conversation to see if it would be a good fit for both of us. All right, that's all I have for today, everybody. Please be sure to place a value on your free time, because if you don't, someone else will. But most important, there is no amount of money that will make time irrelevant. Have a great rest of your day. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care.